And what happened the day that you were drafted?
I got drafted. I was probably about 19 years old. I was just coming in from a long day working on a farm, and my mother told me, "Son, you got to go to Nam." I said, "Mother, I will go to Nam. I will fight for my country because I love it."
So I understand that there's a lot of peace riots going back in the United States. How did that make you feel?
Well, let me tell you, pretty young thing, let me just let you know. Those peace riots really lifted my spirits and they helped me get home. Every day I was out on the field, I was thinking, man, I'm really happy those people were helping me back home with those peace riots.
All right, and how were you treated when you actually came back home?
I was straight treated like Dookie. Awards when I came back, including the Purple Heart when I stepped on that mine and blew off my ankle. I thought I was gonna be fine, but I wasn't. I had no ankle.
So how did you feel about being in the Vietnam War?
The Vietnam War was kind of crazy. Let me tell you, there was people in the bushes. It made me sad, honestly. There was no reason we were supposed to be over there, but when they crashed that ship into our ship, I felt I really needed to go over there and do something, fight for my country. It's really heavy. Sometimes I thought I was Joseph, sometimes I thought I was Steve. But then in the end, I always realized that my name was Johnson.
And how were you treated by the peaceful protesters when you came home?
Some people treated me really good, and some people treated me like Dookie. But it was okay all in the end because I fought for my country, and we won.
And what were some of the long-term effects of the war?
Some long-term effects, I came home and I didn't even know my name. I thought my name was Steve, but it's Johnson. I tried to kill my dog because I thought he was going to kill my brother. It was crazy. It was crazy.
All right, well, thank you for talking about those rough times with us today, Mr. Johnson.
You're welcome.
This is breaking news with Deborah and Tammy.
The U.S. has recently discovered that Russia has placed missiles in Cuba, facing the U.S.
In retaliation, the U.S. has placed missiles in Turkey aimed directly towards the Russia.
Oh my God, we're gonna die.
All right, and we are here with Martin Luther King. How are you doing today?
Doing pretty well, how are you?
I'm fantastic. So, who was your inspiration for your nonviolent tactics in fighting racial segregation?
I drew a lot of inspiration from Muhammad Gandhi. I saw what he was doing over in India with his nonviolence, and we can come down here.
That's really great. So, what would you say are some of your biggest achievements?
Some of my biggest achievements are my Peace Prize.
Today we have a very special guest. He was the first man to walk on the moon in 1969. So let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Neil Armstrong.
Thank you for having me today.
It's our pleasure. Now, when President John F. Kennedy proposed to land a man on the moon in 1961 in a speech before the U.S. Congress, how did it make you feel?
Well, I was excited, certainly, but I never expected that I would be chosen to be among the crew of the Apollo 11. It's a huge honor.
How many missions were there before you landed on the moon?
There were 4 missions before Apollo 11, making it the 5th manned mission by NASA.
Who else was in the crew with you for this mission?
There were 3 of us in all. It was me, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins.
Did you guys bring anything back from the moon?
Oh yes, we brought back 47.5 pounds of lunar material to be researched and studied.
Fascinating. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have for today. And here we are with JFK. Tell me, sir, how did it feel being shot in the cranium?
Well, it sucks.
How did you feel you did during your time as President of the United States?
Well, I helped protect our nation from the commies, so in my official opinion, I believe I did a fan-freaking-tastic job.
Alright, and what is your official response to the claims that you and Marilyn Monroe were having an affair?
I'm dead now, so I don't think it matters.
Alrighty then, how does it make you feel knowing that historians today rank you as one of the best-loved presidents that our country has had?
Well, it's not surprising. I'm pretty fantastic, and I was a big help to the civil rights movement, which is something I can say I was proud to be a part of.
Well, that's all the time we have for now. Do you have any final last words to our audience?
Bananas are a great source of potassium. Hello, I'm here with Malcolm Little, also known as Malcolm X. Why don't you tell us a bit about yourself and what exactly it is that you're doing?
Well, my name is Malcolm, and I was born in 1925 in Omaha, Nebraska. After studying the teachings of Elijah Muhammad and the years of abuse I suffered through, due to the fact that I am a man of color, has led me to be a civil rights activist for the NOI.
It must have been hard growing up in the area during this time. What exactly was the abuse that occurred?
I was only 4 years old when they set my house on fire for the first time.
And who is they?
Members of the KKK.
I'm very sorry to hear that. Many people believe that your strategy for civil rights is too violent to bring forth any kind of progress. What do you think of this?
Not everyone can be Gandhi. I was attacked and assaulted, verbally abused, and treated unfairly. This lack of compassion and empathy has led to me being a bitter man. Apparently, sitting by and just taking it does nothing, because after sitting ideally by, I was attacked. But it is time for me and many others like me to fight back, because we are human beings and will not be treated as such no matter what it takes.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us.
Who else was in the crew with you?
Who else was in the crew with you?
Who else was in the crew for you with this mission? Oh my god!
Alright, MLK today, how was your weekend? You were here with MLK, how was your weekend?
This is Breaking News featuring Deborah and Tammy.
The U.S. has recently discovered that Russia has put missiles on Cuba. And so
This is Breaking News with Deborah and Tammy.
the U.S. has recently discovered that Russia has put Cuba missiles.
This is Breaking News with Deborah and Tammy.
The U.S. has recently discovered that Russia has placed missiles on Cuba.
No. This is Breaking News with Deborah and Tammy.
The U.S. has recently discovered that Russia has put Cuba.
Wait.